This is a news channel number 4, Weather Channel of Houston, and we have a very bad thunderstorm in the works. My apartment is flooding, and I don't know if this video will make it to YouTube. But in the event that it does, you will know that we're okay. And our window is leaking. So we are looking for ways to prevent a disaster. Yeah.
That's pretty whack that even happened. Like that there's a leak coming from our window. Dude, how is that even possible? What? That means it's like leaking through this inside.
This is really
like it's literally
right
leaking through the inside up there.
I can't believe this shit.
I like this lighting. Okay, this might be like the spot that I record the rest of my videos from now on. While my room is getting flooded, I guess we'll talk about something important. And I'll just hope that it doesn't flood. I mean, I don't care. It's not my. I didn't make the room. I don't live here forever. I'm moving out of here in like 2 months, so we'll be alright. Just like the previous video, I made an Instagram poll for what I should make today's video about, and because the 2 submissions that I got the most questions about were intermittent fasting and carb refeeds and cheat meals, and I made a voting poll, and 60 to okay, y'all can't read that, but 60% of people want me to talk about intermittent fasting and 40% want me to talk about refeeds. So I will talk about refeeds day after tomorrow. I'll post a video on Sunday. Today I'll address intermittent fasting. So what is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is pretty much like no different from living your regular life. It's just instead of eating like all of your calories from morning to nighttime, you have an 8-hour window, or honestly not even 8 hours. You can pick however long you want your window to be. Most people pick 8 hours. I pick 8 hours to eat all of your food. You have 8 hours to eat your day's worth of calories, and the day worth of calories varies by the person, obviously. Most people will have that tracked already. If you guys are wondering how to calculate how many calories you guys need every day to maintain your mass, just calculate your body weight times 16. If you guys want to go into a caloric deficit, multiply your body weight by 16 and then subtract 500 from that value. And if you guys want to go into a surplus and gain some mass, you multiply your body weight by 16 and add up to 500, between 300 to 500. Obviously, depending on like the deficit or the surplus, you guys will eventually lose weight or gain weight. Whether that's good or bad depends on what you eat, obviously. But if you guys need help with that, then, you know, go back to my last video, see what I got on the grocery shopping runs, or sign up for one of my personalized plans. They're $10. They're still out there. They're not going to be $10 forever, but right now they're $10. So if you guys need help with what to eat and how much to eat, and you guys need a workout plan, come to me. I'm a DM away on Instagram, and my Instagram is right here if you don't follow me. I know a lot of y'all do, but in the event that some of y'all don't, and that y'all found me on YouTube first somehow, I don't know how that would be possible, but hey, you never know. Alright, back to intermittent fasting. So you have 8 hours to eat your day's worth of calories. In my case, right now, that is 1,600 calories, because I'm 7 weeks out of a competition, a bodybuilding competition, and my calories are extremely low. So I have 8 hours to eat 1,600 calories. That's not that bad. My window of time is 2 to 10. So 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. And from 10 p.m. until 2 p.m. the next day, I don't eat anything. I don't eat a single calorie. The only thing that I can do in those 16 hours is drink water, because water is 0 calories. And the thing is, a lot of people wake up. The reason that people don't like to intermittent fast in the first place is because they think that they're just like getting hungry in those 16 hours. That's not true. When you wake up, your stomach probably hurts, and like you probably think that you're hungry, but most likely that's because you're dehydrated. That's probably not because you're hungry. So unless you're someone like me who has a bodybuilding show coming up, you're weighing yourself every single day, you're tracking like your weight as the days go by and like trying to average everything out. And you know, I personally do that on an empty stomach, no water, anything. As soon as you get up, just drink as much water, not as much water as you can, but drink a good amount of water, especially with your breakfast. Like, I advise everyone to drink up to a gallon, or at least like 3/4 of a gallon a day. It's not that hard once you get used to it. All right, so that's the number one rule of intermittent fasting, is drink a lot of water. Now, why do we intermittent fast? It's kind of a complicated process, but in a nutshell, intermittent fasting burns fat way faster than eating like from, you know, morning to night, like, you know, sunrise to sunset. If you guys want to know the scientific information, I'm about to talk about that right now. Otherwise, I will just put a timestamp right here. If you already know like how intermittent fasting burns fat, and then we can just go on to what I'm about to talk about next. I don't know if you guys know what insulin is. It's kind of like the main hormone that our body uses to store energy from food. So when we're taking in food composed of sugars and carbs and fats, our body uses that insulin to store the food, store the sugar in our system, and then produce fat. All that happens in our liver. And so whatever excess we have left, we take the carbs, we store that as our energy for usage throughout the day. Our body uses that energy throughout the day. Even if you're not doing anything, even if you're just sitting there, your body's still burning energy. Your body's still using some sort of expenditure, and that's the food that you're eating. So when you're eating for only 8 hours a day, your body only has that much to go, like that much energy to go off of. But when you're eating from sunset to sunrise to sunset, your body is just constantly getting energy, constantly has excess, and it doesn't help promote fat loss, because before your body burns the fat, your body's burning the healthy stuff that you took in first, like the carbs, the glucose, like the healthy sugars. That stuff dies down first, and then your body hits your fat stores. And then once your fat stores are gone, that's when you get into muscle deprivation. But obviously that's a different story. You don't have to worry about that if you're eating your day's worth of calories in 8 hours. So that's my next point. If you're gonna intermittent fast, do not starve yourself. Make sure you're eating your day's worth of calories. Make sure you're eating a good amount of protein, a good amount of carbs, and a moderate amount of fat. Okay, think about this. Think about it this way. The term breakfast is, in short, breaking your fast, right? When you're not eating, you're technically fasting because your body's burning the stored energy. When you're eating, you're taking in energy to store. So your body, when you're fasting, is decreasing in insulin levels, which decreases stored fat and decreases in excess in sugar. So at that point, your body has nothing to burn except the energy that you stored from the previous 8 hours the last day. So like when I wake up in the morning and I go work out, my body's using the energy that I got from the previous day, whatever fats and whatever crappy food I had, it's using that to fuel my next workout. And obviously like the proteins and such too. But because my protein intake is good enough, because my fat intake is good enough, because my carbs are good enough, I'm not losing any mass, I'm not losing any muscle, I'm not losing anything that's like bad for my, I'm not losing anything that's good for my body. I'm only burning fat. And obviously guys, like if you're gonna intermittent fast and you're gonna like try and lose more than an amount, like if you're gonna try and lose a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time, you're probably gonna lose a little bit of mass. But that just comes with the process. When you burn fat, you burn fat everywhere. You can't spot reduce fat. When you gain fat, you gain fat everywhere. You can't spot increase, mass, or like, I guess you can like work a certain muscle out and make it big, but what I'm trying to say is that if you're intermittent fasting, you are probably gonna look smaller in general, but that's not a bad thing. So intermittent fasting, in my opinion, is good for you. Like it only does good things for you if you do it right. But if you're someone who doesn't enjoy eating, if you're someone who doesn't eat enough throughout the day, even if you do enjoy eating, if you're like the type of person to leave over your food a lot, or like you're not counting how much you're taking in, if you don't drink enough water, I would not advise you to intermittent fast, because it just puts you in a bad mood if you're hungry all the time, and you don't want to starve yourself if you're already having trouble taking in food. But intermittent fasting is great for people who are trying to lose a certain amount of fat in a certain amount of time. In my case, I have to lose 11 pounds in 7 weeks, right? That's not a lot of time. And if you're burning anything more than 2 pounds a week, if you're a male burning anything more than 2 pounds a week, and you're a female burning anything more than a pound a week, just stop intermittent fasting, or like start eating more food. Bring your calories up, okay? Because the male body should only be burning up to 2 pounds a week. That's the healthiest pace to burn weight. The female body should only be burning 0.5 to 1 pound a week. That's a healthy pace for females. And if you're burning anything more than that, then you're probably burning your muscle. So I highly advise you to intermittent fast. It is a great fat burner. I highly advocate it. I just started doing it for my diet because I know for me it's crunch time, and like I don't have a lot of time to, I don't have a lot of time to eat from beginning to end of the day and still burn all my fat. I'm still like I'm a little below 10% body fat now, but I still have to get to like 5%, 6%, I have to get to a stupidly low body fat percentage to compete. And in order to do that, I incorporated intermittent fasting into my routine. But it's definitely not for everybody. I know a lot of people right now at this time of year are fasting for Ramadan, and in a sense that is kind of intermittent fasting in and of itself. Y'all have a fasted time period, and y'all can't take in, y'all have that amount of time to eat as much food as you want. But if you guys want to burn fat while doing that, for people who are trying to diet and still follow like their religious practices, if you want to make a benefit out of Ramadan, if you're someone who's dieting, then definitely calculate your body weight, multiply it by 16. If you want to lose weight, subtract that by 500, and take in that amount of calories between whatever window of time you have for this month, and you will burn a considerable amount of fat. I know that 8 hours isn't a lot of time to eat your day's worth of food, and you might feel sick if you eat too much too soon. So try and be careful about like what you're eating in that window of time. Try and make your foods a little more lighter and higher volume. For instance, like if you guys don't want to eat too many carbs, but you're still hungry, eat more vegetables. Vegetables are very high in volume. They're high in fiber, so what comes in comes back out. And if you guys don't want to get too many carbs, and you still want something sweet, because vegetables aren't sweet, get fruits. Strawberries is probably the best fruit that I advocate. It has a ton of vitamin C, 7 carbs in a cup, in like 100 grams of strawberries. It's like probably like, if I had to guess, like 7 or 8 strawberries. 7 carbs, that's ridiculous. Try and avoid like too many like high fiber foods through that 8 hours, because obviously like the most fiber you want to take in is like around 40 grams. And I usually try and take in like 25 to 30 a day, because if you take in too much fiber, you're just gonna get bloated and stuff. But there's ways to maximize your efficiency on intermittent fasting, and there's ways to mess it up too. So do I advise intermittent fasting? Yes, if you're capable of doing it, if you have the willpower to do it. Obviously, if you can't stand not eating for 16 hours, then don't do it. It's definitely not for everybody. And I think the easiest way to intermittent fast is to make the window of time in the middle of your day and have it finish like toward the end of your day, so that you're sleeping for most of the 16 hours that you can't eat. I know for me personally, I try and wake up and still have like 2 hours to 3 hours of no eating. So I'll try to wake up like, right now my sleep schedule is so messed up. So I try and wake up around like 11 o'clock. I go work out, that takes around 2.5 to 3 hours. I come back home, it's 2 p.m. and I'm ready to eat. And at that point, I have a whole 8 hours to fit in my day's worth of macros and my day's worth of calories. And then it's 10 p.m. and all I have to do at that point, I'm already full, because 8 hours, if you're eating everything in 8 hours, it's gonna like catch up to you. You're gonna feel full from that small window of time, because it was just like a one big ass meal. So after that, all you really have to do is drink a ton of water, go to sleep. There's like around 8 hours if you average 8 hours of sleep. There's that much time gone. Just keep yourself busy, and you will gradually lose fat, and you will see a difference. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little explanation of mine. The next topic in 2 days is going to be cheat meals and carb refeeds and how to maximize on those things. I will tell you in advance, there really is no way to maximize on a cheat meal. There is one situation where you can benefit from a cheat meal. One situation I can think of off the top of my head. But other than that, I'm mainly going to emphasize carb refeeds and explain what they are and how to use them. And in next video, I will also guide y'all through a pull workout. Let me know if you guys want a guide like vocally or typed up, kind of the way I did it last time. And also let me know if you guys have any other topics you want me to discuss, because I will try and be covering one topic every 2-3 days. Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed this vlog, I guess. I mean, I'm just explaining to y'all what intermittent fasting is while my room in my apartment just gets flooded by this little rain that we have this week. And yeah, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you don't follow me on Instagram already, please follow me on Instagram. Just stay engaged, give me a thumbs up, you know, it helps the channel grow. Yeah, so if you guys have any more questions about intermittent fasting, just DM me or comment down below, and I'll try and address your questions. I know this explanation was like a little brief and a little, you know, it may not have covered every variable of intermittent fasting, but I try to get all the important stuff out of the way. The main things you need to know are 8-hour window, minimum 8-hour window. Some people do 6 hours, but I tell everyone 8 hours is like the ideal. 8-hour window, drink a lot of water, eat your day's worth of food in that frame of time. Do not eat less. All right, you're already burning your day's worth of calories like in that 16 hours. So there's no need to eat less in that intermittent fasting phase. If you're cutting, then eat your day's worth of cutting calories. Do not go below that, or like don't stunt your calories or anything like that. Then you're just jeopardizing all of your muscle. So yeah, window of time to eat, drink a lot of water, eat a lot of food, and you will see the fat just melt off. All right, I will see y'all in the next video.